Let's talk batteries.
This is my off-grid electrical setup. On the left-hand side, you can see the recycled Chevy Volt battery cells that I built into a battery. On the right-hand side, you can see the Victron components in blue. The smaller one is a Victron charge controller, and the larger one is a Victron 500 watt inverter. And you can see two bus bars on those, positive and negative, and also an 80 amp fuse to control it all. It's rated at 14.4 volts, 120 amp hours, so that makes a capacity of 1.7 kilowatt hours.
These are 4 Chevy Volt cells. They're recycled. Let's just take a look at these. So this is one of the modules that I use in the cabin. And this is actually number 1. And let's take a look at those. So these are LG Chem N2.1, that's the designation of the battery. 3.6 volts and 120 amp hours. I have 4 of them in series. So the chemistry here, it's a lithium ion chemistry, but this particular one is the lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide battery. It is advanced. It's high charge and specifically high discharge rates. You can see the discharge rate at 3C, which means 3 times 120 amp discharge. And maximum charge is 1C, so I can charge this pack at 120 amps. And you can see the nominal voltage is 3.6. Maximum voltage is 4.2, just like lithium cobalt oxide packs are. And then the cutoff voltage is 3 volts. So if you want to calculate the capacity, take the nominal voltage, which is 3.6, times 4, which would be 14.4, multiply that by 120 amp hours, and that's 1.7 kilowatt hours. So this pack has a capacity of 1.7 kilowatt hours at 100% utilization. Now, I don't charge these all the way. I only charge them to
3.95 volts
per cell, even though they have a maximum voltage of 4.2. So I utilize only about 80%. It just prolongs the battery life. So again, 1.7 kilowatt hours, if you multiply that by 0.8 to get 80%, this cell has a usable capacity of 1.4 kilowatt hours. So since it's a lithium ion battery, you need a BMS, right? You need a battery management system. So this is my main positive here. So this is positive, negative. Negative goes to positive back here. You see how these two are connected. And then it goes back up to negative. Negative goes to positive, connected right here. And all the way up. And this is my main negative. And my main negative goes to the BMS, or the battery management system in the back. So this is the battery main negative, goes into the BMS. This particular one is a 40 amp BMS. So it has a peak of 60 amps, but it's a 40 amp continuous. And then this is your main lead, which goes into the battery terminal, the main negative on the battery terminal. These are 45 amp Andersons, and these are, I think, 4 gauge wires. So well rated for this. So the BMS will keep the battery on, and it measures every single voltage. This is main negative, and it then goes to 1, 2, 3, and 4 cells, measures each one, and keeps the cell voltage between 3 volts and 4.2 volts. 3 volts would be cut off. So if any one of these cells would reach 3 volts, it would just turn the entire battery off.
Oh wow, that was a lot of battery talk. Look, if you just want to buy a battery, this is what you want to buy. Buy a Battleborn. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It has a battery management system built in. I believe these batteries come with a 10-year warranty, and I've heard nothing but good things about these batteries. So I'm cheap. I built my own batteries. Not everybody does. Many people I know use these Battleborn batteries, and I leave a link in the description, and you may want to go that way. This is a Victron charge controller that I use in the cabin. This is an Mppt charge controller. Mppt stands for maximum power point tracking. So it has DC to DC conversion. The maximum solar panel voltage for this controller is 100 volts and the maximum current is 30 amps. My solar panel only puts out 42 volts in full sunshine, so I have plenty of room to put another solar panel on and bump up the voltage. So the Victron charge controller is Bluetooth capable, and of course it comes with an app. And you can see a screenshot right here, and I just ran outside. It's 0 watts charging because the sun was already down, it was almost dark. And you can see my solar panel is still putting out 19.17 volts. It's currently not charging, and the battery is reading 15.57 volts, and it's currently, the state is bulk charge, so currently the battery would take any charge the solar panel puts out. The charge controller has presets for different battery chemistries. The current version has only lithium iron phosphate settings, but not lithium cobalt oxide or any one of the others. So you can see here in my settings, I did it all manually. You select the battery voltage, the max charge current, and then you can put an absorption charge voltage or float voltage cap on it. And this is where I limit the maximum charge voltage on the absorption charge. You can see mine is set up to 15.8 volts, and that is the 3.95 volts per cell times 4 is 15.8 volts. So I only charge my cells to about 80% to prolong the battery life. My inverter is a Victron inverter. And of course, I'm gonna leave all those links in the description for you so that you don't have to remember any of this. So this is a Phoenix 12500, and the 12 stands for 12 volts. Although this particular inverter can handle up to 17 volts, and that's one of the reasons I chose it, because my systems can go up to about 16 volts if I choose to fully charge these systems. And the 500, of course, is a 500 watts of continuous use. And this inverter has a peak rating of 900 watts. Quality of these Victron components is outstanding. Very heavy-duty terminals for the DC side, and on the AC side you can see there's one main outlet. Putting all these components together, you come up with a phenomenal electrical system for an off-grid cabin. You can run all your lights, you can run your refrigerator, you can charge your components, your laptops, cell phone booster, ham radio, and other equipment you might think of. So this is my current setup, and you can see I doubled my battery capacity. I don't really need the second battery, but I had it laying around not doing anything, so I ended up just adding it to the cabin. So how many solar panels do I have to keep those batteries charged and run my cabin? One 325 watt polycrystalline panel is all I need for the cabin. It keeps the fridge running 24/7, and I have more than enough power running all the lights, charging my laptops and electronics. If you liked the video, you may consider liking and subscribing. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.